This is an absolutely classic northern Scottish sea kayaking trip, launching at Skirza, rounding Duncansby Head and finishing in John O'Groats. The route is about 13 kilometres long and follows a rugged stretch of coastline with high cliffs, deep geos, dramatic sea stacks and a few tunnels that can be explored when conditions allow. It's an incredible paddle with a real sense of exposure and immense scale, best done with careful tidal planning and fair weather. This particular geo creates a bewildering optical illusion. Because the strata of the rocks are not parallel to the water, it creates the sensation of the water rising upwards into the geo, making you feel as if you're somehow paddling uphill. And in this shot it appears to be flowing downhill to the left. While some residual swell was present throughout the day, all of the features we passed were calm inside, allowing plenty of opportunities for exploration. Throughout the day we passed shallow reefs and rock shelves, which create playful breaks like this one. Some of the others surf the small waves here, but I generally avoid these shallow rocks unless I'm in my plastic sea kayak, as I have a real knack for ending up stuck on top of them.
Don't go back, go for the fight. There will be lots of back in. You're in the brake line.
No, we should be fine here. It's the rocks over here on our left. It's these rocks causing them to heap up.
Indiana Jones kind of thing. Feels like a jungle. Like a human that had the grass outside. Yeah, exactly.
It's really quite difficult to describe exactly how huge these cliffs are, because the GoPro camera really doesn't capture it. They tower above you, and the foliage on these really made them feel rather like a jungle. I almost half expected to find some overgrown Aztec temple from Indiana Jones or Tomb Raider around the corner. I'm pretty sure this is the longest sea tunnel I've ever paddled in. As the passage narrowed, I had to rely on the small swells coming from behind to push me forwards, using my paddle as a rudder to avoid hitting the sides. You may notice there's none of my usual drone footage in this video. That's because there was simply nowhere to easily land and launch it on this trip. Andy, one of our guides here, crashed his own drone inside this geo as the cliffs caused interference with the satellite signal. Neptune claimed his prize.
Annoyingly, if I upgrade, it's totally different batteries. I always find when we walk along the
We passed the spectacular Duncansby Stacks, eroded over many thousands of years, towering 60 metres above us. The headland of Duncansby was now approaching. At around an hour away from peak flow, the tide here was now running at about 4 knots, pulling us inexorably towards a large sea stack called the Knee, just off Duncansby Head. We'd hoped to cut between it and the headland, but found the water level wasn't quite high enough, so we went out wide instead, and into the tide race that was now rapidly squeezing around the headland. Tide races occur when fast-moving tidal streams are constricted in or around the land, creating choppy conditions. Here, the waves then bounce off the land, creating patches of confused water. Some people love them. I'm not a fan. This is very much Type 2 fun. Having now passed through the race, the water calmed considerably, along with my heart rate. We paddled into a large geo in the cliffs here, the screech of the guillemots overhead replacing the roar of the water we'd just emerged from. This trip exemplified so many of the things that I love about sea kayaking. With the majority of the features we'd explored and enjoyed inaccessible by any other means, it feels like your kayak has opened a door into a whole other world you wouldn't have experienced otherwise. Having caught glimpses of many walkers up on the cliffs throughout the day, we'd experienced this coastline in a profoundly different way to them. Further out, I could still see the faster water running back towards the headland as we came around past the lighthouse and into the bay beyond, for the final stage of the paddle, into John O'Groats.